This is self-empowerment. Coming up on tonight's show. Tonight we're going to be looking at the secret of relationships and the art of self-love. And we're also going to be featuring special US EFT expert Brad Yates, and he's recorded a special tap along to help us become love magnets so that we can attract the soulmate, so that we can attract more happiness and love into our lives. But first, we're going to be looking about relationships. Now, I've had a lot of correspondence from people asking me, what is the secret of relationships? And really, to be honest, the secret of relationships is loving the self, because when you love the self, everything else in your external environment reflects that back. And if you're not liking yourself too much, your external environment will also be reflecting that back. So everything really is a reflection of what's going on inside you. And if you haven't met your soulmate, it's probably because you're not a vibrational match for that particular relationship to happen right now. So rather than go out there and get frustrated and get upset about why you don't attract the person that you want to attract, you have to take ownership and responsibility first. As Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see. And it's important to actually just take a little bit of time out and decide what it is that you're looking to achieve in attracting a soulmate, because a lot of people tend to go for the same relationships, and it's based on the conditioning of those early behavioural patterns and behaviours that we picked up growing up. I know from my own experience, I grew up in a family where there was very little love, and it was quite emotionally cold. And to me, growing up, that was normal. So my first series of girlfriends, I tended to focus on looking for qualities in them that I could relate to. And obviously my relationship with my mother and my sister were the two key influences in my relationships with women. So I tended to go for girls that reminded me at some level of them. And it was only when I look back now at some of those early relationships, I can see that I went for the same particular person every time because I felt safe with them. It wasn't that they were particularly nice people, but when you grow up in an environment where it is unloving, you learn not to love yourself. You learn to not feel worthy and deserving. And when you're in that place and you go out into the adult world, you are going to attract partners to you of a similar vibration. So it's worth remembering, if you've been out with a series of partners that have all been the same and treated you in the same way, you have co-created in that, because at some level you're allowing them to treat you like that because you don't feel worthy of real love. You feel somehow that you deserve to be treated like this, or even this is what you were used to growing up. This is how you were treated when you were young. But it gets to a point where you go through a series of relationships and they break down, and you arrive at a point where maybe you are now, where you're thinking, I've done with those sorts of relationships. So what I'm asking you to do now is get a piece of paper. Write down what you don't like about your previous partners, and write down what you want in a future relationship, because most people in my experience, when they break up, they'll talk to their friends and they'll say, what I don't want is one of them again. I don't want somebody who's going to treat me bad. I don't want, and you focus on all the things you don't want to see show up in your next partner, and surprise, surprise, some way down the line you find that they're treating you exactly how you said that you wouldn't want them to treat you. But we're powerless to do anything against that, because those old programs are still working in background. And I know in the second part of the show, Brad is going to show you how to just reinforce that internal connection so that you can start to be the change that you want to see. Because when you start feeling good about yourself, when you start feeling loving about yourself and other people, everything will fall into place for you, and you will be a vibrational match to attract somebody else who has also been through a similar journey and now feel back on track. They're starting to love themselves, they're starting to feel good about themselves, and when that happens, those two energies will attract each other. So if you've been through a series of relationships that are broke down, first thing you need to do is see what you can learn from them, and just appreciate that those relationships have shown you the contrast. They've shown you what you don't want to show up in a future relationship. So Brad's going to be helping you later in the show just to make that connection, and I suggest that you practice that video many times for best results, because there really is nothing outside of you that you can really develop and learn from. More of that's within you, because when you start developing and opening the heart chakra to love, and you start loving yourself, then that will be reflected in your external environment. So if you're out there busting a gut trying to find the partner of your dreams and attract your soulmate, for the moment you don't even need to worry about that, because that will happen by itself when you become a vibrational match for the type of relationship that you desire. So get that piece of paper, write down what you like and what you don't like, and then look at what you want to attract and start to focus on that. Make a few affirmations out of the things that you wish to attract. You may want a soulmate or a partner to treat you a particular way, or to be open, loving and caring. And if that's what you're looking for, then you can simply use the collarbone or under the eye, or many of the points that I've shown you. You can even use Brad's diagram here to work on different acupuncture points. But if you tap in simple affirmations like, I choose to allow love to flow through me, and I choose to see the good in myself. I choose to attract only those people that are in harmony with me. I choose to attract only those people who have similar interests to me. Because when you start focusing your thoughts on what you want instead of what you don't want, when you start talking about who you would like to meet and what type of person that would be, you start to feel good, you start to feel hopeful. But the change has to come from within to start with. Now, the other thing you need to do is learn the art of allowing. When we're in relationships that are not going well, or we're trying to attract a soulmate, we tend to have a vision or a picture in our mind of exactly the way we want that person to be. And then we meet someone that ticks all of the boxes, but not all of them. And then we meet them, we start a relationship, and then we think to ourselves, he or she will be perfect if they can just sort these little things out that I don't like or that I find annoying. So at the start of most relationships, people try and change each other. They try and control. They want to know every little detail of their life, where they're going, what they're doing, as if there's some kind of ownership. And especially in a marriage, because there is that certificate in place and there is that tendency for male dominance, people think they have ownership of each other. And what we have to do is just get all those thoughts and beliefs out of the way and just learn the art of allowing. When you meet someone, or if you're in a relationship at the moment, if they're doing things that are upsetting you or annoying you, you are co-creating in that. You are allowing them to do that, because that is highlighting some part inside you that you're yet to deal with. When you learn to love inside and you learn to love yourself unconditionally, that will be reflected in your immediate environment. And those things that used to upset and annoy you will simply fade away. But you have to be the change that you want to see. Now, some other tapping tips that you can use. Working with somebody recently, I gave a few key affirmations and told them to go away and work with these for about 7 days. And what you need to do, it's one of my little mirror taps. Go and sit in front of the mirror and look at yourself in the mirror and just tap the collarbone. Just simply tap the collarbone and repeat, I allow myself to be. Just the way I am. I allow myself to be. I allow my partner to be. Just the way they are. And I allow love to flow through me. I deserve and want to feel love and to be loved. This is my truth. Now, if you can do that every morning when you get out of bed, before you go to bed, it takes a few minutes of the day, but just keep repeating that affirmation. I choose to love and accept myself, just the way I am. I choose to allow love to flow through me. And what you will start to do is you will start to unclear and unblock some of your energy channels, because at the moment your heart chakra is ready to show you how to love, and it's about you making that internal communication. So that's about it for today's session. I hope you've enjoyed a few tips and strategies. We're now going to introduce Brad Yates. I've known Brad Yates for many years. He's a regular contributor to YouTube, and he's very, very well known in the United States. Not so well in the UK, but hopefully some of our UK viewers will be able to get a flavour of why so many people enjoy Brad's work. So I will see you in a future show, and be loving. The loving starts at home. Be the love that you want to feel and experience, and you won't go far wrong. This is David Childerley. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Yates.
In honor of Valentine's Day, today we're talking about l'amour. Love. I mean, ultimately it's all about love anyway, but let me talk about love in relationships. See, this is one of the great places to talk about law of attraction and to really use law of attraction, because, like attracts like. So if we want to attract love in relationships into our lives, then obviously the thing to do is to feel that kind of love inside. And it's kind of hard to imagine anything better than that. I mean, ultimately, that's the best feeling that you can have, that feeling of love. So we want to be clearing out anything that doesn't feel like love inside of us, anything that would seek to do harm. As we clear all that out, as we feel ourselves truly caring and loving, then that's what we naturally draw back to us. Now, the thing to remember is that every issue that we have, everything that we do, our unconscious mind has a reason for it. There is a reason why we block loving relationships, whether it's completely blocking relationships of any kind or attracting relationships that are not right for us or even potentially harmful to us. There's something in the back of the mind saying, this is what's safe, this is what's familiar, probably because of things that happened in the past. If your parents argued all the time, then in your young mind you may have decided, that's what a loving relationship looks like. Boy, I sure hope I have a relationship like that. I mean, not consciously, maybe consciously, I don't know, but it's not that these things are done consciously, but part of our mind says, this is what it's supposed to look like. This is how it should look. And so we are going to feel safer when we have our lives looking that way. I mean, we create our reality, so we create our reality in a way that it fits in with our mold of what it's supposed to be like, so that we fit in, so that we feel safe, so we feel comfortable, even when that reality may not be what we would consciously call comfortable. That kind of fighting, or whether it's fighting a relationship or loneliness because we don't have someone in our lives, there's something about that that doesn't feel comfortable, but to the unconscious mind it feels more comfortable than the alternative of being in a relationship where either someone's reacting to us in a way that doesn't seem familiar, that's unknown to us, or there may be just nobody who can react to us in a way that feels comfortable. So in our minds, the only safe thing to do is to be alone. That's not the real loving feeling that we want, so what we want to do is cultivate a truly loving feeling inside, so we naturally draw that to us. What we want to do is be a love magnet. So we're going to do some tapping now to cultivate those feelings inside that really attracts to us then the love that we really want. Whether you're alone now and looking for a loving relationship, or whether you're in a relationship already and want to have it to be a more loving relationship, more of what you would consider the ideal of a loving relationship, then, as Gandhi said, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. So, as we feel that love inside, as we treat ourselves with more love and respect and care, naturally that's the kind of relationships that we draw to us. So, again, anytime we're doing the tapping, things can potentially come up. So, you must take full responsibility for your own well-being if you choose to tap along. And with that being said, I choose to be a magnet for love. And I completely love and accept myself. I choose to be a magnet for love. And I really love and forgive myself. I choose to be a magnet for love. I choose to draw loving people to me. I choose to have people care about me. I choose to draw into my life people who treat me really well. I choose to feel loved. I choose to be a magnet for that love. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And all the people in my life who've taught me what love is. Because they were doing the best they could, given what they thought love is. I choose to be a magnet for love. I choose to be a love magnet. I choose to be a love magnet. And even as I say that, there may be parts of me saying, no way! That is so dangerous. Don't attract people. Don't attract dangerous situations. And I may have a lot of evidence as to why this would be dangerous. Either in my own life, where I've been hurt by people, or maybe from stories that I've read, movies that I've seen, people that I've known. My subconscious mind may have a lot of evidence as to why it would be really bad to be a love magnet. And fear is false evidence appearing real. These things may have happened, but they're not proof that love is bad. I appreciate that part of my mind that's only trying to take care of me. The real key is loving myself. And I choose to acknowledge that self-sabotage is misguided self-love. I really do love myself. I always have loved myself. And in an attempt to take care of myself, I've done some things that may not seem loving. And now I'm healing. Clearing the way for real love. I choose to attract love. Real love. Respectful love. Caring love. fun love. I choose to attract people who love and respect me. People tend to treat me the way I'm internally treating myself. So I choose to recognize, I choose to know that I really am worthy and deserving of love. I choose to clear all those old reasons why I thought that wasn't the case. I choose to forgive myself. I choose to love and forgive myself in a caring and respectful way. And as I do so, I naturally treat others with love and respect. I choose to treat others the way I wish to be treated. Maybe not specifically. Other people might not like the same things I like. But I choose to treat everyone with love and respect. I choose to treat myself with love and respect. And when I really love myself in this way, I am a love magnet. I naturally draw to me people who are good for me, people who are right for me. I draw love that is right. I attract love that is appropriate. And I choose to clear anything inside that would attract things that are not appropriate. Clearing anything inside that would attract harm. Clearing out the past. Those past events that thought that harm might have been comfortable, that it might have been what I deserved. Clearing any reason for attracting that. I'm attracting real love. I am a magnet for real love, for genuine love, for love with real integrity, releasing anything from inside that would block that. It's safe to feel love. It's much safer than the alternative. When I've had bad things happen in my life, it's because something other than love was inside me. And I was doing the best I could. And I'm getting better all the time. I choose to really love myself. I choose to treat myself well. And know that others will treat me well. And I deserve to be treated well. I deserve to expect that. I deserve to request that. I am deserving of real love. And the more I feel it inside, the more I naturally attract it. The more I attract people who will treat me with love, the more the people that I know will treat me with love. Because the more I love myself, the more I feel that love inside, the more I release anything that doesn't feel like love, the more I discover that there is only love. And when I'm feeling that love, that's all I can attract. I choose to be a magnet for that real love. Clearing what doesn't feel like love. Allowing myself to know it's safe to feel love. There is only love. When I get right to the heart of the matter, and I'm setting that love free. Allowing myself to feel real love in body, mind, and spirit. And take a deep breath. Allow yourself to feel that love. And you are a love magnet. Whether it's being single and attracting new people who can be loving, or just attracting more loving responses, more loving behavior from the people that you already have in your life. It starts in here. Allow yourself to cultivate that loving feeling. Allow yourself to cultivate that sense of integrity and caring and just real, genuine love. And the more you feel it inside, the more you will naturally see it outside. And you deserve that.